Okay, so welcome everyone. Good to have you here. Also welcome to those who are listening on SoundCloud. Now, today's topic is, the headline of this talk, or the topic is, Indifference is not freedom. This is something that's very, very important, because many people, when they consider letting go, the practice of release, of letting go of stress and tension, they feel that they are becoming more and more indifferent. Or they have this kind of fear, like, what if I constantly let go, then will I be totally indifferent? It's a very common misperception, but completely mistaken. That is, we also call this indifference is the near enemy of letting go. So indifference is mainly based on like an egoic personal sense of separation. Here I am and the world is there and I'm feeling indifferent about the world. I'm feeling a certain feeling, or I'm attaching to a certain opinion that I have of this world, and I'm kind of neglecting the way it is, or I'm pretending that I don't care. It's a sort of pretense, really. People can get really good at this pretense, so good that the indifference feels like a very real, and it actually starts to kind of develop its own life and its own habit, and then we feel that we really don't care about other people, about the way the world is. I couldn't care less. Well, there's wars going on in the world. It's not my business. I don't care. Oh, there is someone that suffers. I don't care. Some people can get really cold in relationships. Their wife is suffering a lot and they just feel, it's not my problem. It's her problem. She's creating all that suffering for herself, and why do I need to bother? It has this sense of coldness to it. You notice there's no warmth, no empathy, no wish to understand, and most of all, it is not really seeing truth. It is kind of avoiding. Indifference is avoiding to look into the truth, that we are emotional beings, for example, that we have emotions, that we do care, that we do get upset and annoyed, that we do have all these human feelings. And indifference tends to kind of push that aside. So, well, I don't care. I have it, but I don't care. And then we put on this mask. So that's what indifference is. And that certainly is a fault in meditation practice that many, many people cultivate, that we should really pay attention to, because it's easy to cultivate it. Or I'm letting go. Means I don't care. Do you notice how close that is? That sense of, I let go of that and I don't care about it. But truly letting go is actually a practice of opening up to the way it is. Letting go very often is misperceived as this idea that we get rid of something. Gosh, I just can't seem to let go of my anger. You notice that is a feeling like anger has no place and I need to get rid of it. I need to push it aside. I actually need to, and I'm trying really hard with meditation and letting go to get rid of my anger. Many times people talk with me and then they would say things like, yeah, Tobi, I know, I'm just thinking here, but there's a sense of guilt or something like this, a shame about thought. We feel that thinking is not right, thinking is not good, I shouldn't think. My teacher has told me that I should let go of thinking, therefore thinking is bad. Therefore, I'm a bad person because I can't seem to let go of thinking. It's still there, I'm still thinking. Something is still wrong with me. Now we can go into indifference about it. We can say, I don't care, it's just thinking. I don't care. That's wrong. Saying I need to get rid of thinking, I need to let it go in the sense of I need to get rid of it, is wrong again. So we tend to fall into these extremes constantly, either trying to fight something off or trying to kind of relate to it in some weird way, in some harmful way. And then that comes out of pain also. We are looking at thoughts, we don't approve of them, we don't like thinking. Maybe our teacher told us to let go of thinking and we feel like, yes, I need to get rid of thinking. That's what we hear. Oh, thinking, I need to let go of that. Yeah, thinking is really bad. Then we relate to our thoughts from this pain, feeling that thinking is bad. So we relate from a certain perception of badness. And sometimes we go to full-on wars and really exhaust ourselves trying to get rid of thinking. It's neither about ignoring, which is like, kind of indifference is like a sense of ignoring. It's not about ignoring something, and it is not about pursuing something. It is about seeing the way it is, just as it is, and giving it space to be the way it is, and learning from the way it is. There's a learning hidden in everything. You can learn from everything. You can sit down quietly and just watch what is happening if you sit quietly here for 30 minutes. You just look at yourself. Many things will happen. You might get annoyed, you might wonder, like, when is the 30 minutes over? I can't wait, I need to do something else. And all that stuff is going on, and every single second of it is a learning opportunity for you. If you are able to open up to it, receive it the way it is, without creating further stories about it. When I say it is a learning experience, it does not mean to think it through. It means to really open up to the experience it is right now. It means finding a space around the experience, a space of awareness. Not doing anything to the experience. So we are doing that enough as human beings. We are messing around with ourselves and the world and other people way too much already. It's very much out of balance. The art of really leaving things alone and actually looking at the way it is, that is something we hardly ever consider. It's also not something we learn growing up in all the societies all around the world. This is something you learn in monasteries. It is something that you learn in classes like these. Learning to open up to truth. Because that's what is. Truth is what is. So what is? Well, look. And as you look, as you observe, you will notice how you create suffering and tension about things that are. Let's say there is thinking coming up in your being, and then you will notice the habit of creating suffering around that thinking. You see thinking as a problem. And this teaching, this talk today, is particularly addressing people who write to me regularly, because many of them seem to be on this sort of guilt trip around thinking. I know I shouldn't be thinking, but I know I shouldn't be the way I am, but this kind of I can't help to worry, and I know I shouldn't worry. And I really, really hope that all of you are listening really well today, because that is super important. It is not ever about getting rid of, fill in the blank. It is about knowing what is, as it is, just as it is. Are you angry? All right, now are you able to receive the anger not in a space of guilt or shame? Are you able to receive the anger in a space of awareness? Just noticing, how is it like to be angry? Are you able to admit your anger? Very difficult for people pleasers to admit our own discomfort because we're upholding this kind of mask in front of us that always needs to be perfect to please other people. So it's very difficult to admit that we feel human emotion, like anger and being upset and being worried and so forth. Particularly difficult for spiritual, quote-unquote, spiritual people. I am a spiritual person. Gosh, I'm so spiritual. And all the others around me, they're so unspiritual. It's unbearable. I wish they were more spiritual, but they're not. So we're unable to receive people, even if they're really not. If they're like pure materialists, we are receiving them not in a spiritual place. We are receiving them in a judgmental space. You could also say that these kind of people, they are clashing with our judgment patterns. They resonate with our judgment. And now you might feel, oh, I shouldn't be doing that again. And if you have been listening, then you will notice no, it's not about should or should not. It is about seeing, as you do that, as the habit is going on inside of you, to look at it, to become aware of it, to be mindful of it. Oh, I'm so judgmental right now. You can sit down in a shopping mall and be judgmental. No problem. But watch. As all the people, they walk by, as you sit there in a coffee shop, right? It's meditation. People walk by and you're judging everyone. Can you look at judgment? Can you observe how judgment works? Not interpreting it. Not judging your judgment. No, I shouldn't be judged. I'm too judgmental. Well, that's judgment again. It's judgment, judging, judgment. We do stuff like that. I'm too judgmental. Well, what is this? This is judgment again, isn't it? Oh, I should not. Oh God, why am I feeling that way about another person? It's a human being. I should feel happy and peaceful about everyone. Well, are we feeling happy and peaceful about everyone? Honestly. I'm not. There's then also this kind of part in my mind that says, yeah, but you should because you're spiritual. And I can see it too. And I can give that space too. Is that, oh, there's this part of my mind that thinks I'm spiritual and therefore I should be that particular way. I should be that kind of particular person that's always thinking good about others, always compassionate, always kind. Everyone who comes out, I feel always great in the morning. I'm always thankful and grateful, for every single thing that happens. I'm so grateful. Someone is offending me, is yelling at me. I try to find desperately, how could I be grateful for that? But it's not about pretending. It's not about trying to kind of overpaint something. Almost like, you have a dirty floor and what you do is you put a nice carpet on top of it. Like painting, photoshopping yourself, It's a modern day and age, so we are versatile with Photoshop and hashtags and filters and whatnot. So we like to put filters on top of things, We like to filter ourselves. Looking at our mind, we feel like, we need a filter for that one. It's just too raw. Just too painful. I shouldn't have pain, but you do. Everyone does. One of the things that impresses me most about my own teacher is that he can be completely honest about pain. I like that. There's no pretense there. You can feel it, you can sense it. There's no pretense. He had a very dramatic life. Lots of hardship. And he's able to just say to me, like, I'm really pissed off at this, or I don't like that, and something inside of me goes like, whoa, but he's a meditation teacher. He should be above that, no? But it's not about being above it. It's not about that. It's about simply being able to accommodate it, give it space, and understand it in that space. Understand it from the perspective of just knowing it. That is letting go, leaving things alone. And by understanding those things, you naturally let go. And that happens in really the same way. Like, let's say, is my favorite example to be, if you're really caught up in a movie, you watch that movie and it's really dramatic, it's this ghost movie or something, and then you're really caught up in it. You're very tense, you hold on to your seat. Your whole body is tense. You hope that the main actor will make it. And then, suddenly your friend who sits next to you sees how tense you are, how you're in the movie, and then suddenly says, hey man, it's just a movie. Suddenly you wake up out of this kind of dream, out of this sleep, and you suddenly realize, whoa, I'm in a room. I'm sitting, there's tension. There's a screen in front of me. And it displays something that actors have created and fabricated. And I'm totally emotionally involved in it. I totally forgot that there is a watcher. For me, there's just only the movie, but the watcher is not there. Even though it is there, the watcher is there, but I'm not noticing it. I don't know it's there. Like some people say, babies are so close to enlightenment because they're so much in the present moment most of the time. Problem is just they don't know it. They are very present. They don't have so much thinking going on. They just don't know it. They're also lost in that kind of presence, in that present state. So being lost in these various things that are going on, kind of being sucked into the story of life, then we have no perspective. We forget ourselves. And really letting go means you're seeing the movie, and you know it's a movie. You see the emotional response it creates inside, and you know that it's just a conditioned emotional response. And so you can watch the whole thing going on from a distance. That is not indifference, because you can also let go of indifference. You can notice, the mind went into a state of indifference. And being indifferent is like this. And then you look right into it. And you will see, wow, there's nothing really there. Like in the movie, there's not really any problem. No one dies. I mean, just dreaming it up. Same thing for our life story, our life movie. The movie in our heads constantly goes on about, hopefully I will reach it, I need to integrate meditation now into my life. I need to bring that forth, and I hope after the retreat I will be able to do this. And should I meditate once or twice a day, 30 minutes or 45 minutes, all that stuff. Can you be aware of that your mind is trying to own meditation? But your conditioned mind will never do meditation. It remains unaware of itself. Really, you can say you're starting to cultivate wisdom or insight as soon as you are able to step back and look at yourself and see what is right now going on in my mind, in my emotional being, what's right now happening, and to allow it, and to relax around it, to give it space. Little exercise to illustrate that would be, can you right now feel the space around your body? Usually we're completely absorbed in the body sensation, in the body having a body, so that we don't notice that there is a space around the body, right? But you can feel that too. It's very intuitive. You can just feel into the space around your body. Try. Almost like the space that contains your body. Feeling that. Sensing that. You will notice it's there, right? You can actually tap into it. Such a space is also around your anger. It's also there around your jealousy, around your thoughts. It's there also around, well, anything really. It's just a problem that we are absorbed in the actual thing, like anger or jealousy, so much so that we become angry or become jealous. But if you just make that little exercise, next time you have an emotion or a thought or whatever that is unwanted, and just notice, can you find some space around it? It immediately will change things. Finding the space around feelings. You see, that is all, this is anything but indifference. You're really opening up to it. It's very vibrant. It's so much aliveness in that space. Not nervousness. This is calmness, but it is very alive. Not cold, dry, indifferent. It's a warm space. It's very kind, it's very loving. Also, if you are letting go the right way, the qualities of compassion and kindness will also naturally grow. What is compassion? The wish for yourself or others to be free from suffering. You can empathize with someone. You can understand them. You can know what they are going through. The ability to feel another person's pain without being lost in their pain. That would be then pity. You see their pain and you make it your own pain. It doesn't help anyone, right? Suffering together then. It is like there's someone drowning and you just hop in right with them, knowing that you can't swim. So I'm going to save you. And then you have two people drowning. And it's like pity is a bit like that. Compassion would be more like being in a boat, realizing that someone is drowning and having the means to actually help them. And actually you want to help them because you understand their situation pretty well. You can relate. Compassion makes it impossible to be harsh to another being, to hurt another being, because it feels like it's your own pain. To be cruel, to be heartless, impossible. You can see others kind of like you would see yourself. As important as you see yourself, you see other people. I think Dalai Lama has said this kind of thing. All the misery in this world arises because we think that ourselves are more important than others. We cherish ourselves above anything else. That's where all problems in the world come from. And the solutions to all these problems, all the happiness in the world, he says, all the goodness that we know in this world comes from cherishing others above oneself. It's this turning around. It's like sort of a little mind game or mind training to change away from the focus that we have, like only me, mine, all the time. It's all about me. The whole world turns around me. So when you're able to open up to that and really see it and give it space and understand it, you start to have a sense of empathy and compassion towards yourself. It's like, wow, all this unnecessary pain. And you see it in yourself. And upon seeing it, there's this very strong wish, wow, may I be free from that? And so that's where you are able to really let go of pain. And it's a function of compassion. And it grows with actually insight, with wisdom. You understand yourself, you see how you create suffering for yourself and how unnecessary it is. Simultaneously you understand how we all do the same. There's an incredible sense of connection. You're not feeling different anymore. You feel like we're all in it, we're all doing it all the time, creating tension, creating suffering inside of ourselves, unable to open, to accommodate the way it is, to accommodate truth. Kindness, the same thing, loving kindness. The wish for yourself and others to experience happiness and joy. Also that grows when you see yourself. And you really look into your own heart, you will understand why there are wars. You will understand why you need to lock your doors at night. You will understand why the world is the way it is. Very clearly. And how can you not be compassionate upon seeing that? How can you be indifferent? It's impossible. So being able to open up, to accommodate, to see the way it is, having compassion and acting, if necessary, from that compassion. That is how it works. There's always two facets of the path. That's another one that's very close to me. I really want to transport this in this session today. This is important too. That we have these two facets. One is letting go, and one is cultivating. So some people say, when they write to me, they say, Tobi, I just can't sit around the whole time. But I never say that. I never once did I say, guys, you have to sit around the whole time. But it's somehow what people hear. They think being a meditator means to just passively, indifferently, sitting around the whole day and letting go of it all. Yeah, how comes that this is so often misunderstood? These two facets are there. This is letting go, which is not indifference, which is opening up to the way it is. And then there is action, because as human beings we have to act. And where do we act from? Ideally, we act from kindness and compassion, so that it creates more benefit for yourself and others around you. Ideally, we let go of acting motivated by anger, frustration, fear, and all that kind of stuff. So we cultivate action that is actually beneficial. There's so much you can do to make the world a more beautiful place, but we have to start with our own house. That's how we transform the world into a beautiful place. Clean up your own house first. Then you might go around and clean up other people's houses, if they wish you to do that. If they don't want you to do that, you have no chance of getting in. You will create further disruption and stress. Most people are not asking for your help. They ask you to listen. They ask you to receive them with love and openness. They don't want you to fix them. The world doesn't need you to fix it. But we can really become very peaceful and kind and compassionate within our own house and create a beautiful garden around our house. And everyone is invited to join. You'll see many people don't want to. Many people are afraid of bliss. They are afraid of happiness. They feel they don't deserve it. So they will not come. But those who smell, those who really know that there's something special there, they will come and they will enjoy the garden. This will not be many people. There's many more people go to a football match. It's more interesting, there's more nervousness in it, there's more excitement in it, more drama. That's what we search naturally. But peace, real peace, inner peace, it is something that only a few people really seek. Most of it want it. Most people want this inner peace. They want it. Subconsciously, we are looking for it. But we think that we can get it in external things, in external situations. And hopefully when the world is finally good and everyone is having all they need, then I can relax. That will never happen. So that's all we can really do. You cultivate for yourself and around yourself to create a beautiful place for people to come and relax. This is the best thing you can do, really. Become a harbor or a medicine or a light. And those who are seeking light, they will come. Those who are recognizing their illness, they will seek you out. Those who are searching silence and peace, they will find you for sure. It's like that. And then you're open like this. There's not much to be done. Your inner state is attracting external states. That would be the way to fix the world, if anyone would just do it. But that's a would. If anyone would be peaceful in themselves, the world would be a peaceful place. So let's start. Let's do something about it. If you really want to change the world, relax. And share your kindness, your compassion, your love, your light. That is a cultivation. Any skill you can develop that is of benefit makes other people more healthy, more happy, more joyful. Share that. Okay, so I think that's all that comes to mind for today. Thank you very much.